So the next point of contact is going to be the FBI. And the one that's located in the state where I filed the mandamus action is going to be the field office that I contact. I'm going to talk to them Monday. I've already made the reports, and they're going to go to also three other FBI legal attaches or legats. So the one here, they could help coordinate communication with the others, and then also with the current situation with social media, they could communicate with either the social media companies or their representation to illustrate some things to them once they're made aware. So that'll be good. And then the legal attaches, the main countries I'm focusing on are the Netherlands, where the crime occurred, and then Germany. Obviously, that's where the warrant for Angelina that we have came out of, and that also mentioned the arrest of Ilias and their desire to also arrest Marina Abdullah, who was wanted for prosecution, and Goatis elections wanted for separate prosecution. That's out of Offenburg, which is the Baden-Württemberg region where Marina lived with Ilias and Angelina, and Gaddis being somebody that lived in Germany, allegedly collected mental health benefits in Germany. And also we have Annette, who is from Germany. The main reason, also one of the main reasons for cutting off social media, is to cut off their funding for criminality, keep them from being able to hide. And Annette would be another source of funding, which isn't her fault because she has the mind of a child. It's like robbing a child. In fact, it's a crime to do what they're doing with her. So that needs to be stopped. That's her money for the rest of her life to take care of herself or be taken care of. So they have no business doing that if that's occurring still. And also, the statute of limitations is 20 years on the crimes that he allegedly committed against her. So that's interesting as well. They can be made aware of all of that and have been and will be. And then you have they have been via the reports, but verbal communication they will be. And then you have Spain. So the reason for focusing on Spain is because Spain is over the Canary Islands, and supposedly Gaddis has been there in the past on Annette's money, and he's fairly recently said that he was there. El Hielo, I guess, is a destination he likes, but also supposedly the ferry, the people that operate the ferries don't check your passport when you go between Morocco and the Canary Islands. And we did see Marina mentioning that she had been to Morocco. It was stamped in her passport. So if that's the case, then Spain, they have an FBI legat and they can be aware of all this criminality, and they can talk to law enforcement in the Canary Islands and they can have them look for them, watch for them to be manning a ferry. So things like that are really important because what we're trying to do is, first of all, with social media, they have a requirement to abide by their terms of service. There are actually consequences for them for not doing so. And obviously, if they have a rule that other people have to have applied to them where they can't have another channel, then it applies to this guy as well. On top of that, the criminality of the scams on the platform, there's FTC could get involved in that. There's laws pertaining to the FTC once they're made aware that there are scams on their platform. So they need to take care of all of that and nip it in the bud. And the other, of course, main reason would be it would stop them from having the funding that they need to continue evading arrest with a child. The child is another point of interest in contacting Germany. because that child is considered a missing or endangered child. She's especially endangered given some of his content currently on Telegram, for example, about children, not to mention the April 2023 live stream where he said things about children. So that being the case, there's sufficient interest maybe in Germany because we don't know where that child was born, but we do know that there's a likelihood that she has German citizenship. The rules there are a little bit different. You know, your parent has to have sufficient contact within a certain amount of time with Germany when the child was born and things like that. So I'm not sure, but nonetheless, a child that's in danger like that one is, when you have a parent that is pro-incest and has current content on Telegram calling incest monogamy and content going back for years with that kind of ideation. And on top of that, by way of law, when you have two wanted fugitive parents in Europe and in Germany, you are considered, the child is considered missing or endangered, and they should be looking for that child. So, and they should be invoking Article 114 on the content. So all of these things the FBI can get involved with and help with and be aware of. Also, it would make the social media company want to act because anything involving children like that takes away your Section 230 Communications and Decency Act protection, you know, of not being liable for what a third-party content creator does. You're liable for it if you know about it and it involves anything to do with terrorism, child exploitation, and certain types of crime. So these are all the things. And the point of all of this is not just to take someone's channel down, but it's to stop the funding. Stop the funding from all sources, stop the exploitation of all the different entities, Annette, the kids, and everything else, and create a situation where they can no longer hide. Because, you know, also, I don't know that law enforcement is looking at their families, looking at the different people they would be coming into contact with, where they would be getting money. And if they're not, they need to be. So putting pressure on these people to do their jobs is the other element. And then you're making it harder on them. You know, no money coming in, no hopes of getting any money coming in, and then nowhere else to go that they're not looking at you and for you. So that'll make it way, way harder. And at some point, someone will see them. And they'll be, you know, apprehended. So the FBI stuff, I don't know if I'll be allowed to record that. Federal law, you are allowed to record, but it's, you know, the state law also applies, and they're in a two-party consent state. So I think it's better to be transparent. So I'll ask. I'll also tell them what it's for. But if that's okay, I will play it for you after it happens on Monday. So everybody have a good weekend. We're going to apply a lot of pressure all at the same time while they're doing this investigation to make sure that not only that goes the way that it should, but that these other things happen as well. So talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.